Is AI killing creativity? Or is it the single greatest unlock for independent creators in the last decade? Today, we're debating a framework that claims to do something most creators only dream about: validate your ideas, automate your workflow, and scale your income, all without ever showing your face. I'm Alex, and this is the Self-Proofing Roundtable.
I'm Jordan. I've built 3 faceless YouTube channels from scratch, and I'll tell you right now, this framework changed everything for me.
And I'm Dr. Chen, AI researcher and content strategist. I've been studying how AI intersects with creator economics for the past 5 years. Spoiler, we're just getting started.
Let's get into it. The Self-Proofing Framework. 7 stages: niche, content, automation, monetization, growth, systems, and scale. Jordan, you're a believer. Maya, you've got the data. And me? I've got questions. Let's debate. All right, let's set the table. Jordan, you've actually used this framework. Give us the honest version.
Honest version? I was skeptical at first. I had 2 channels that were basically dead. Inconsistent uploads, random topics, zero strategy. Then I found this system. Within 90 days of implementing just the first 3 stages, niche, content, and automation, one of my channels went from 200 subscribers to 11,000. The difference was the AI validation piece. I stopped guessing.
Okay, that's a compelling data point. Maya, from a technical standpoint, what makes this framework different from just using ChatGPT randomly?
The difference is structure. Most people use AI like a vending machine. They put in a vague prompt, get generic output, and wonder why it sounds robotic. The self-proofing framework treats AI as a co-pilot with a defined role. You're not asking AI to be creative, you're asking it to be analytical, to find patterns in audience behavior, validate demand, structure information. The creativity stays with you. That distinction is everything.
I want to push back on that because here's my concern. If everyone uses the same AI prompts and the same frameworks, won't all the content start to sound the same? Won't the algorithm eventually catch on?
Let's dig into stage 1, niche. And Alex, I hear your concern, but this is actually where the framework solves it. The master prompt isn't a content generator. It's an audience researcher. It tells you where the emotional gaps are. 2 creators can run the same prompt on the same topic and come away with completely different angles because they're interpreting the data through their own voice and lived experience.
Exactly. And from a data perspective, niche validation used to take weeks. Competitor analysis, keyword research, audience surveys. AI compresses all of that to minutes. I tested this across 12 different niches last quarter. In every single case, the AI-validated niche outperformed the gut instinct choice in terms of search demand and monetization potential. The numbers don't lie.
Okay, I'll give you stage 1. Niche validation with AI. That makes sense. You're not replacing creativity, you're replacing guesswork. I can get behind that. Now, stage 2. Content. The video promise formula. Pain times confusion times desire equals video promise. Jordan, does this actually hold up in practice?
Every single time. My best performing video, 340,000 views, was built entirely on this formula. The title was, "Why You're Posting Every Day but Getting 0 Views, and the Real Reason Nobody's Telling You." Pain, the frustration of no growth. Confusion, not understanding why. Desire, the truth that finally fixes it. That one video paid for 3 months of my mortgage.
And the reason it works is behavioral psychology. Viewers don't click on information, they click on emotional resonance. The formula essentially quantifies that resonance. What I find fascinating is how AI can now analyze thousands of comments across a niche and surface the exact phrases that carry the highest emotional weight in seconds. That's not possible manually.
But here's my pushback. Isn't there a risk of being manipulative? You're essentially reverse engineering people's pain to get clicks.
Or you're solving a real problem that people are already searching for. The pain exists whether you make the video or not. You're just choosing to address it.
I'd add, The framework specifically filters for content gap fit. You're not manufacturing pain. You're identifying where genuine demand exists and no quality answer has been provided yet. That's not manipulation. That's a genuine service.
Fair point. Stage 3, automation, the content velocity system. Maya, this is your territory. Break it down.
So the 5 principles: batching, templates, 80-20, energy alignment, and automation. These aren't new concepts individually. What's new is applying them specifically to content creation with AI as the execution layer. Batching alone, combined with AI research tools, can reduce ideation time by 40%. Templates mean you're never starting from zero. And the 80-20 filter is absolutely critical, because most creators spend 80% of their time on things that contribute maybe 5% to their actual results.
The energy alignment piece was the most underrated part for me personally. I'm a morning person, high creativity in the mornings, low energy in the afternoons. Once I started scheduling ideation and scripting in the mornings and logistics, scheduling, thumbnails, analytics for afternoons, my output quality went up dramatically. It sounds simple, but honestly, nobody talks about it.
I actually love this stage because burnout is real. I've experienced it firsthand. 3 months completely off YouTube because I just couldn't do it anymore. If a system can prevent that, that's not just productivity, that's long-term sustainability. Stage 4, monetization. Jordan, 4 income streams: affiliate, digital products, brand deals, memberships. Be honest, is this realistic for a new creator?
Not day one. The framework is sequential. You don't monetize until you have validated content driving consistent traffic. But once you do, absolutely. My first digital product was a $27 prompt pack. It made $11,000 in its first month off a channel with 8,000 subscribers. Why? Because the audience was targeted and the content had already built trust.
The key insight here is that AI-validated content creates compounding traffic. You're not making videos and hoping. You're making videos you know people are already searching for. That search traffic becomes a monetization flywheel. Each video becomes a long-term asset, not just a post that disappears in 48 hours.
Okay, I'll be honest. Monetization was where I was most skeptical going in. But the sequential nature makes complete sense. You're building the audience first, monetizing second. It's not a get-rich-quick scheme, it's a get-rich-smart system.
Stages 5 and 6. Growth and systems. This is where the long game really pays off. The 7-part retention framework is the secret weapon. Hook, stakes, promise, curiosity ladder, validation, loop closure, action catalyst. Every video I make follows this structure now. My average view duration went from 35% to 68% in just 4 months. That's the algorithm noticing you.
From a systems perspective, what excites me most is the AI co-writing workflow in Stage 6. Feed the outline, define your voice, generate section by section, then apply the human filter. The human filter is absolutely non-negotiable. That's where your authentic voice re-enters. AI gets you from 0 to 80%. You take it from 80 to 100. That last 20% is everything.
And that's where I think the framework actually respects creativity rather than replacing it. The human filter isn't just a nice-to-have, it's the entire point. You're not outsourcing your voice. You're outsourcing the heavy lifting so your voice has more room to shine.
Stage 7. Scale. Multiply output without multiplying effort. Maya, is this actually achievable in the real world, or is it just creator fantasy?
It's completely achievable, with discipline and consistency. Repurposing is where most creators leave serious money on the table. One YouTube video, properly repurposed, becomes 5 Instagram Reels, 3 TikToks, a newsletter, a Twitter thread, and a podcast clip. AI handles the reformatting. You approve the outputs. The creators who crack this stage are essentially running a full media company without a single employee.
I went from 1 channel and 4 videos a month to 3 channels and 16 pieces of content per month, with fewer total work hours. That's the scale promise fulfilled. It took 6 months to build the system fully, but now it just runs.
6 months. That's the honest timeline people need to hear. This isn't overnight success. It's a system that compounds, slowly at first, then all at once. All right, hot takes. Each of us, 30 seconds maximum. Biggest insight and biggest concern. Jordan, kick us off.
Biggest insight? The content velocity system is the most underrated part of this entire framework. Everyone gravitates toward AI scripts and monetization, but the system that prevents burnout is what makes everything else sustainable and possible. Biggest concern? People will run the AI prompts lazily and produce generic, soulless content. The framework only works if you commit to the human filter step with real, genuine intention.
Biggest insight. AI doesn't just save time. It surfaces patterns that human beings genuinely cannot see at scale. The emotional density analysis in stage 2? You cannot do that manually across thousands of comment threads. It's a true cognitive amplifier. Biggest concern? Over-reliance. If you let AI define your niche, write all your scripts, and choose every topic with zero personal filter, you'll build an audience that isn't actually connected to you as a person. And that disconnected audience will not buy anything.
Biggest insight for me. I walked in skeptical, and I'm walking out converted, but conditionally. The framework works because it's sequential and because it keeps the human at the absolute center. AI is the tool, not the creator. Biggest concern, accessibility. Not every creator has the technical confidence to implement all of this. We need better onboarding, better tutorials, and more handholding for total beginners. Final question, 1 sentence each. Is the self-proofing framework the future of content creation? Maya, you first.
It's not the future. It's already the present for the creators who are winning right now.
It's the difference between building a real business and just running an expensive hobby channel.
And for me, it's the first framework I've encountered that genuinely respects both the raw power of AI and the irreplaceable value of a human voice. Self-proofing, AI, money, and you. If you're a faceless creator, or even just thinking about becoming one, this system deserves your complete and undivided attention. That's a wrap on the Self-Proofing Roundtable. I'm Alex, joined by Jordan and the brilliant Dr. Maya Chen. If this conversation sparked something in you, share it, save it, and most importantly, act on it. We'll see you in the next one.